I forgot to mention that John Denver's music was prominent in the first Final Destination, that Tony Todd gave an interesting, over the top, delicious, deliverable performance. And he also returns in the sequel, Final Destination 2 from 2003. A first degree guilty pleasure, says Andre Johnston, U.S. Magazine. Gruesome fun, says Reed Tucker, Takeout New York, Timeout New York, and a real jolter, not for the faint of hearted, Kevin Thomas, L.A. Times. It's a matter of life and death when 8 strangers narrowly escape a catastrophic freeway accident. Only young girl's premonitions save them all from a grisly end. Right now they have put a rift in death's design. There is a price to pay, and it's going to be painful. Packed with cutting-edge special effects, state-of-the-art gore, enough scares to send your heartbeat into overdrive. Final Destination 2 is a killer sequel to the smash hit original. Fasten your seatbelts and prepare yourself for one horrifying ride. It may be your last. And I personally think that this is a fine sequel. I mean, it's got the artwork right here of the 2000s teens standing there looking menacingly like they're constipated or something like that. I don't know, like that. And it's it's this one's. There was what I've noticed. There was a build-up going on here. It was like a lot of, it's like we get the new woman. She's receives the premonition of a whole bunch of stuff that's going to happen. There's a cop. There's a pregnant lady and everything else, and it's all right. It's okay. Where are we going to get? Are we going to get anything insane that's going on, or are we going to just see the deaths that do happen? This one's more like kind of, I guess, this movie connects to the past enough to where it explains where all the people went kaput, suffered fates, and how death has its design that we can possibly cheat it, and people are discussing that about how they all each have a connection to everything that happened in the past, like cleaning up a mess of that happened to the last person, or being in the vicinity saving them, and they all realize that they are all connected. They were brought here through the magic of a movie script, or in universe through destiny or whatever, and death is coming to collect his bounty. I don't think we ever see the scythe anyway. One of them wins the lottery. He's very lucky and everything, and he's also kind of a frat. He seems kind of like a frat boy, and he won $250,000, a little apartment, and he's, I don't know. It was kind of funny, like that death. I found to be funny because it's like his hand gets stuck in an incinerator, and his apartment is engulfed in flames, and and he's all going to pass on. What ultimately happens is he manages to get the fire escape and trips on some spaghetti. Yes, and then the layer comes down and impales him. That was darkly funny. And it's like we have some kind of dissension going on amongst the ranks, as there are others that remain, not trusting each other, including one person who actually manages to grab a firearm and is about to bill himself, but lo and behold, they're all blanks, and that tension actually does get to them, albeit there's this kind of like one, I guess, one career person who just she's kind of there, but she does deal with kind of a horrifying death of this one lady who just trapped in an elevator and they try and rescue her. But ultimately, I just feel like she does not add too much. Yeah, Tony Todd returns as the mortician, talking about how a new life can help force death to reinvent his design, or reinvent its design, whatever. And, it's like you can already tell what's going to happen. Delivered in a good, macabre way, and I like that. Yeah, it's this movie. What I know is like it goes at a good pace. There's like no slowing talk. It's like it's not boring. It's not going to produce any ennui. And in case you're wondering why the jump cuts, I'm going to go to bed after this review. Let's just say that. So it's this movie. It delivers the payoffs. That's what you see here. It's like, okay, let's get all these logs. Like, they all survive a logging accident, and like a whole bunch of logs fall off, and it's like, they try and navigate everything. There's enough, I guess, conflict to create a sense of tension, and the payoffs are worth it. And I'm like, okay, yes, I like that. Everything feels more more compact in here, with all just the situations and everything going on, and trying to get this mystery of what is this new life. Is it a neonate or is it a resurrection? And I'm going to spoil it for a 22-year-old movie. It's actually a resurrection when the new hero dies because she intentionally will die to help save everyone, and then gets resurrected via defibrillators and stuff like that. So that was pretty interesting as a way to actually combat mother effing death. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I guess if there was any bad parts, it was like maybe we could have heard one John Denver song. I really didn't hear that much. And music wasn't as prevalent, which was just kind of a thing. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. I don't know. Yeah, maybe some people may not like how the deaths actually happen towards the end, because it's like one involving an elevator and one involving that frat boy. Not a broccoli head, but a frat boy. So say what you will about that. There's a extended sequence in the beginning where that career woman is kind of trapped, and she's trying to smoke a douchey cigarette. I don't know. And she's trying to get rescued. Get started when the guy is trying to extract her. She's like, okay, yeah, I'll turn on quiet mode. But a metal piece flings and kind of gets in her head, and it's just like, yeah, she just felt like really the only throwaway character. But and we even have Cleary Water, whatever her name is, from the first one, return. So that was pretty cool to get some continuity, and she does a decent, and the actress H.A. Cook or whatever does a good job there. Yeah, and it's like the actor who played I forget who the actor who played Alex Browning said his heart just wasn't in it. He's like, hey, I enjoyed it. I still go see the sequels and everything, but just for me, it's just a one and done thing. So that's why he didn't return. His character was killed off screen. There's a scene with the logs. They're still doing some practical effects, so they tried bouncing the logs off the vehicle, but they didn't bounce enough. Well, what do you expect from things that weigh several hundred pounds? So they just computer generated the logs, and that is actually a time when you can use CG or AI. If a stunt doesn't look correct, just go ahead and do it the best that you can. Yeah, it's like the CG is in here. You can kind of tell when it's happening with a ladder descending in the frat boy, or a person getting crushed or whatever. And it's it's dated, but at the same time, it still kind of holds up. So I don't know. What do I ultimately think about this? It's just as good as the first one, if not better a little bit, because we get more structure with the plot and what's the word I'm looking for? the tension feels a little bit, tension feels heavier. I will say that, performances are a little bit are more realistic, I guess, this time. And, it's like, it's just a first degree guilty pleasure and gruesome fun. So, you know exactly what you're getting when you see it. So I'm like, I don't want to hear any crybabies saying that, oh, I can't believe it. It's a made-for-TV movie. Listen up. It's called Final Destination 2, where one of the deaths um, features stuff going on in the country and logs. Okay, that's exactly what you're getting. Keep that in mind. Like I said, turn your brain off, and if you have, just either watching late at night or in the daytime, whatever you want. And that's what I say. Final Destination 2, I would say give it a good gosh darn watch.